wanting to dive into some lab stuff that I think might be misunderstood by some people, because I recently had a friend who said, Katie, I got my labs done recently and my protein levels are looking so good. And I was like,
wow.
What? And she's like, I've been eating lots of protein and my protein lab levels are good. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, in your labs, they like measure your protein. And I was like, I don't think that's the same thing that you're thinking about. She was like, they also measured my creatine and that looked really good too. And I was like, do you mean creatinine? She's like, no, it's creatine. And I was like, why don't you just pull up those labs and let me take a look at them? She was, sure, no problem. When she pulled them up, what she was looking at was the results from what a test is called your CMP, your Complete Metabolic Panel. What this is doing is blood test that's going to look at several things. It's going to look at your kidney and liver function. It is going to look at your fluid balance, like sodium and potassium, make sure that your levels are okay and show that your It's going to look at proteins, which is like your albumin, your total proteins, and then it will also look for glucose, calcium, and it is just part of like your physical screen to look and monitor for certain conditions. But your creatine is a supplement that people take, especially in the gym. A lot of people are going to be on creatine. Is there for muscle recovery, for brain health. It is a great supplement. I like it. I've noticed a huge difference since starting it, but it is not the same as creatinine. So creatinine is actually what they're measuring in those labs, and creatinine is looking at your kidney function. So creatinine, I'm making sure I'm saying them correct. Creatinine is a waste product that your body makes when your muscles are using energy. Your kidneys are going to filter that out. When we're looking at your creatinine levels, what we're looking at is more, are your kidneys functioning okay? Are you able to take certain medications? Do we have any signs of kidney failure? It's kind of just a tool to look at all of that. Creatinine is not going to be related, or your creatine levels are not going to be measured usually in labs. Now, they might be able to measure creatine levels. I don't actually know. It's not something I've ordered regularly. But just to clear that up, creatine, they do sound the same, but your labs that you're looking for are checking your creatinine, not creatine. Man, if I got that straight, that would be really impressive. Then the other thing she said was like, my protein levels look great. I've been having so much protein and my blood levels looked good. And I was like, that doesn't mean your protein that they're looking at is measuring the proteins in your blood. And that's going to be like your albumin, your globulins. It is more about your hydration status, liver function, and nutrition status, more so than like, I've had enough protein, so I'm going to have enough protein in this blood mixture. So it's not directly correlated. It's like, yes, we have a good balance in our system, but it doesn't impact them not saying you are not eating and ingesting enough protein. So it's not like you have enough, you ingest enough protein and your protein levels are going to be okay. You don't have to have this kind of super high protein amount for your blood levels to be normal. Does that make sense? If you're ingesting protein, yes, your levels are going to be good, but we're not going to directly correlate the protein numbers that come up on your CMP labs or your BMP, which is a basic metabolic panel. It just does a test for a little bit less, but you may see those results. Just so you know, if you get your labs back and you're looking at the results, the protein levels are not directly correlated with the amount of protein that you are ingesting daily. It is more about kind of a total body assessment versus I'm eating protein and I'm going to check my levels. I hope that makes sense. I hope that clears things up for a little bit for people who may have misunderstood that. But it's so confusing when you look at these labs and you're like, what does this mean? So I just thought I would clear that up. And one thing that I do as a fertility consultant is help people really understand this, because a lot of people do misread this and they're like, my potassium looks good. Like I must be eating enough potassium. We're not so much looking at dietary function, we're looking at total body function when we're looking at some of these. Sometimes deficiency doesn't mean that you're not getting enough. It may mean that you're not absorbing enough. But for most people that are not medical, you wouldn't know that, and you shouldn't have to know that. That's why you want to work with a health provider that actually is breaking things down, helping you understand these, help you interpret these labs. And if you have questions, you should ask them, like, what does this mean? I feel like this looks really good, but what does this indicate? Or what do I need to do differently? So I review labs with my clients. That's one of the first things that I do. Make suggestions on what labs to get pertinent to fertility and overall health, because a lot of things with overall health are directly impacting fertility status. So if we've got somebody that has poor creatinine, poor kidney function, we need to understand why, especially in the demographic that I'm working with, which is people in their 30s and 40s. I'm trying to understand what they can do to get pregnant faster. So I hope that clears things up for people. And if there are any other labs that you're like, man, that was really confusing, or what in the world does this mean? Drop your questions below, or drop any labs that you would like further discussion on, because I'm happy to clear that up and hopefully make it a little bit more understandable and not so broad feeling. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.